Here it comes! From the 444RR Studios in Maryland, it's The Talk Is Right, the only UCast with game shows, magic, and more. And now, here's the star of The Talk Is Right, 444RR.
All right, hello, everybody. It's Wednesday, and it's time for the next episode of The Talk Is Right. Before we get into The Talk Is Right, I wanted to discuss something that's almost upon us. Flu season. You know, the flu is the only disease to get its own season. You don't hear people say, oh, it's June, look out for pink eye. Have you gotten your flu shot yet? If you haven't, it seems like you can get them done literally anywhere. I've even seen people getting them done at the mall. I think the lady, though, who was doing the flu shots was the same one who works at Claire's doing the ear piercing. I really think so. All right, let's get into this week's Talk Is Right. First, the game show news. All right, it's time for game show news. First thing is Price is Right. If you want, there's going to be a live tweet event with the Price is Right on Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is going to be with the new male model, Robert Scott. Robert is going to be doing kind of a live tweet event with the Price is Right on Monday. So RSVP now on their Twitter page. All right. Lots of ratings to report about. First, I want to report about there's going to be no syndicated program like Price is Right or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for the week of October 29th. That's going to be the newest ratings that we would have had, but Superstorm Sandy got in the way, and most of the East Coast stations preempt with local coverage. If less than 90% of the markets air a national show for that week, Nielsen usually does not release the numbers. But I do want to say congratulations to Family Feud. Family Feud posts a 21-year high 4.4 rating. Now, this is the most Family Feud viewers ever in 21 years. The last time they've seen numbers like this was at the height of the 90s, or at the beginning of the 90s, at the height of the Ray Combs era. This will put the viewership for the week. I think it's of the 29th. The week of the 29th. The viewership for Family Feud, they have seen 6.6 million viewers. That's 6.6 million viewers watching Family Feud for the week of the 29th. So that was great. And the reason we have viewer ratings for that, but not for like Price is Right and things like that, is because of the fact that that doesn't get shown on a national TV show. It usually gets shown on like My Network TV. Okay. First off, we have Figure It Out. Now, Figure It Out for the week of the 29th had a slight schedule change to 7:30. Okay, they've moved the Figure It Out show to 7:30. And, well, it actually affected the numbers. They averaged 1.55 million viewers over that week, with a high of 1.72 million and a low of 1.37 million. As of yesterday, which actually the day the ratings came out, which was Tuesday. So as of Monday, the network has put new episodes of the show on hiatus. By themselves, the numbers look pretty good for cable, but put up against other numbers of Nickelodeon, like SpongeBob, they're in the middle or lower end of the spectrum. Now, Nickelodeon has put new episodes on hiatus, but they have said on their official Facebook page, Figure It Out's got an official Facebook page, that it is going to come back in a few days or a week. So it is going to come back, and on my TV, it actually, on the little guide at the bottom, it does say it is coming back. I think it's coming back next week. So, but hopefully it doesn't spell doom for Figure It Out, because it's a great show. I love Jeff Sudpin, but, you know, who knows? So we'll see. You never know. We'll see. Hopefully it'll come back for a third season. If not, that'll be fine. That won't be fine, but hopefully Nickelodeon will replace it with another game show. Maybe bring back an old 90s, like Legends or something. All right. Speaking of middling, which we talked about with Figured Out, the Newlywed Game block of new episodes on GSN, the Thursday episodes, is doing just that. Kind of the middle of the road. For the week of October 29th, the block of the 2 episodes of the Newlywed Game averaged 279,000 viewers from 8 to 10, with a high of 332,000 and a low of 243,000. That is down from the previous week average of 312,000 viewers. That average also just about ties Pyramid's worst performance on that night and comes nowhere near American Bible Challenge worst night. So we're interesting to see what GSN plans for the show in the future. It's rare to get overall viewership reports from daytime TV, especially CBS game shows. But thanks to a press release late last week, we have some ratings. CBS was very proud of their daytime games, showing the average ratings for the 2011 season versus to this point in 2012. The year-to-year comparison. Let's Make a Deal was averaging 2.35 million viewers in 2011. But now it's up 10% this year to a 2.61 million viewership. The Price is Right average viewership in 2011 was 4.38 million viewers, and it climbed a couple percentage points to 4.47 million viewers in 2012. Great news for both shows that are still averaging large percent of the viewership that tune in from the first half hour to the first hour to the second. So basically what they're looking at with the ratings is, another thing they look at with the ratings is how many people watch Let's Make a Deal, and then how many people stay to watch The Price is Right for the second hour. So Price is still doing very successful, staying near the top of the daytime charts it has for many years. So congratulations to Price is Right. Okay, speaking of GSN and their newlywed game, we're going to talk about their Thanksgiving marathons. GSN tends to go through a lot of programming phases and different network branding, but one thing that stays fairly consistent on their schedule is holiday scheduling. This year is no different, as next week will feature 4 different sets of marathon programming over Thanksgiving, Thursday, and Friday. This is going to actually probably make some people very, very upset, but starting the network off on Thanksgiving Thursday, November 22nd, is the summer cast-off Beat the Chefs. Beginning at 8 a.m. and going until 2 p.m., GSN will air 6 episodes of the cooking reality game show. I know a lot of people hated that show, so that's going to make a lot of people very upset. But it's only going to be 6 episodes, not going to be through the entire weekend. After the Chef's Marathon on Thanksgiving morning is an afternoon run of Minute to Win It. Guy Fieri's stunt show will be seen from 2 to 6. The episodes seen here will be from the show's second season. Minute to Win It is a recent GSN acquisition and does great numbers for GSN. The following day, now I don't know what they're going to put from 7 to, the next morning. But the following day, Friday, November 23rd, we'll see another double marathon day. Excuse me. The first series is a long-time GSN acquisition that will be on break from the schedule for a few months. Regis Philbin's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? The marathon goes from 8 a.m. to 1:30. Which, 1:30? Aren't they all hour episodes? I don't know. It contains episodes from the 1999 to 2000 run, finishing with a rare half-hour episode. All right, just answered my question. Following up from 1:30 all the way to 7 is the biggest airings grabber for GSN, Steve Harvey's Family Feud. These will, of course, be episodes from the 2010-2011 season, the only one GSN currently has access to. So, this is your YouTube Speaks for this week. What do you think? Are you excited to see Millionaire back for the moment? Do you plan on tuning into any of these? Post your thoughts in the comments down below. That's how the new YouTube Speaks works, where you post your thoughts in the comments below. Okay. Well, British TV has given us a lot of great programming, like Whose Line Is It Anyways and Mr. Bean. Well, TBS shoots pilot for British import. Have I got news for you? If a show is good enough, executives will keep hammering at the door until it opens up. Another door is starting to look open for the BBC News Quiz. Have I got news for you? Cable networks TBS shot up pilot for the long-running game this past Friday. The U.S. version of Have I Got News for You was hosted by Sam Cedar and features panelists Michael Ian Black and Sharad Samal, probably. That's probably how you say his name. The comedy game sees panelists playing various funny games involving the week's headlines. Have I Got News for You was piloted for NBC in 2009. The network attempted to make it appear in the line with other primetime games, but eventually passed on it. A pilot was also shot in 2004 for the cable network Bravo. Third time may be the charm for the influential panel game. Since 2004, the proposed TBS, the proposed network, has specialized primarily in comedic programming. Beyond reruns of sitcoms like Seinfeld and The Big Bang Theory, the network also produced original shows such as Cougar Town, Conan, Men at Work, and others. TBS has also been actively looking for unscripted series for many years. A pilot for a revival of Match Game was shot and rejected in 2008. A revival of the $25,000 Pyramid was announced as in development in 2011, but nothing came of that. TBS is airing a game this January called King of Nerds, which we have no information on that, but it's going to be funny to see what that is all about. Okay. Another thing I want to talk about is, let's save that for later, NBC's Take It All, still looking for contestants. NBC's upcoming game show, Take It All, hosted by Howie Mandel, is coming December 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm excited about that. And they're still looking for contestants. Each show is based on the holiday game White Elephant. If you don't know what White Elephant is, it sees contestants picking prizes randomly from a board. The next player in line has a decision to pick a new mystery prize and hope it's worth more, or to steal someone else's prize. The player in last place is out of the game. Eventually, two people will remain, and each player with their banked prizes plus a mystery envelope, which could have up to $250,000 in cash, will face one final decision: to share or take it all. If both share, they both leave with what they've won. If one chooses to take it all, that person leaves with everything. But if both choose to take it all, they both get nothing. The end round, the share or take all game, reminds me of that old GSN show, Friend or Foe. It was the same premise where they banked a lot of money, and then if both chose friend, they split the money. If one chose foe and the other chose friend, the foe got the money, and then if they both chose foe, none of them got the money. So, kind of reminds me of that. The show recently taped a few episodes, but is looking for more contestants for a new run. Back to Take It All. If you live in the Southern California area or can get there, contact the casting department. And I will post the link to their casting department down below. So, hopefully Take It All does really good. Howie Mandel's a really good game show host, so I hope that something good will come of this. Hopefully something good will come of this. Let's see. I'm going to think there was something else I wanted to talk about, too. Let me see if I can find it. Also, Fox has ordered a pilot for a new game show called Don't Drop the Money. And no, I've got no idea what it is. So, it's just going to be called Don't Drop the Money, and nobody knows what it's going to be. So, no confirmation has come of that. That's just breaking news. I've gotten into the studio, like, literally before I started filming. So, be interesting to find out what that is. All right, now, go to YouTube and type in Joe Biden's 1993 cameo. Joe Biden made a cameo on a game show back in the 90s. And he made a cameo on Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? You might know that show, the hit theme song by Rockapella. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Anyways, the senator of Delaware is in a funny skit with Greg Lee, the host of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. Go check that out. It's called Joe Biden's 1993 cameo on Carmen Sandiego. Go check that out. It's pretty funny. All right, now we're getting into the magic-related news. Here we go. All right, I got some magic news to report on this week. Two David Blaine stories to start us off with. First, you might remember his electrified stunt he did a few weeks ago where he stood on top of a Tesla coil for 48 hours. Well, there's a doctor explains just how physically demanding David Blaine's electrified stunt was. There's a certain element of the chattering class that looks down their noses at David Blaine's most recent stunt, Electrified. It seemed as if since he was wearing any kind of protective suit, it wasn't as dangerous as it could have been, or his other stunts have been. But David Blaine's on-site doctor who tended to him during and after the event has this to say. They asked him this question: have you ever seen an endurance stunt enacted in this way before? What could you compare it to? And the doctor says this, and I quote, "I've never seen anything like this, and nothing like this has been done before. He's a rough analogy. It's like David ran 2 marathons by breathing car fumes inside of a microwave," end quote. So obviously the stunt was pretty intense, and the doctor even says so. Okay. Now, another piece of David Blaine news, welcome or not welcome, doing street magic in Superstorm Sandy food gas lines. Now, I reported about this a few weeks ago, or last week actually, when I told you about David Blaine doing magic for the people at that restaurant that was running on generators. Well, a magician online, Wayne Camerto, I'm sure I'm saying his last name wrong, has this to say. I applaud Blaine for taking the time to help, but do crowds under stress really want to see magic? I understand that great entertainment can help alleviate a bad situation, but I'm wondering whether the crowds welcome Blaine the celebrity or his magic. Would another magician performing tricks have been welcome in the same situation? Not taking anything away from Blaine for his consideration and generosity, but I think it was celebrity. So, and Wayne Camerto is another magician he does magic. I'm not sure where, but he makes a good point, though. It's an interesting question, but one that makes a lot of assumptions. First, to engage the hypothetical, we need to assume that there is a magician who has the confidence, skill level, and charisma of Blaine without the fame. And there's a lot of magicians that certainly do that. I think me being one of them, but I'm being biased. At least in the street magic context, and skill in New York City. So think about magicians who have the confidence, skill level, and charisma in New York City. But Blaine, underwhelming yet intense in charisma, is unique. If more people had it to the level he does, we'd see more magicians on TV. What celebrity buys Blaine is the context that it's newsworthy. He did street magic for people waiting in a food line. But I do believe that the magic itself would be welcome amongst the long, boring lines produced by Hurricane Recovery. And I really do think that. I think that it's something out of the ordinary, and it's like, I have no power, and I want to see some magic. There is no doubt that the folks in line wanted to see David Blaine the celebrity, but they also almost assuredly wanted to see him perform magic as part of that experience. Because it's like when you go see Justin Bieber or something like that, or some kind of musical celebrity, and they're gonna enter. They're not just gonna stand in line because you have no power. If you think about Justin Bieber or somebody like that making an appearance at a place where there's no power, they also want to hear Justin Bieber perform. So they don't just want to see him and stand there and get pictures with him and autographs, but they just want to hear him perform something as well. So the same thing with David Blaine. They don't want to just see him. They also want to see what he does, do his magic, of course. So, we're going to have people disagree on that and say, well, probably just want to see him the celebrity. But I do think that, people did actually want to see his magic. So congrats to Blaine again, though, like I said, for doing that, for just standing out there and doing the magic. Because if I was in line and I knew who David Blaine was, and I do know who he is, if I ever saw him, I would like to see him, do the magic. Not just meet him, but also do the magic. Okay. If you haven't seen this clip, you need to go watch it. On the Today Show last week, Wayne Hutchinson and James Galea from the new show, Breaking Magic, went on the Today Show, and the video on the Today Show website is called Science of Magic, Magicians Show Off Incredible Tricks. You have got to go see this on the Today Show website. It's on NBCnews.com. Wayne Hutchinson and James Galea freak out the hosts of the Today Show. They freak them out. Wayne Hutchinson does a trick where he makes a coin, he slams it onto the bottom of a soda can, and it goes inside of the soda. It is so freaking good, and it freaks out the host. Then James Galea does a kind of an ambitious card routine where he makes I don't want to say what he does, but he freaks the host out. That's the best clip of the whole show. Wayne Hutchinson's coin in the soda is really good, but James Galea's ambitious card routine is even better. So go check that out. It's on the Today Show website. I can't post the video because I can't actually post the link to it. But go check it out. Also, speaking of Breaking Magic, I watched that show last Sunday. It premiered on the Discovery Channel last Sunday, and at 10 Eastern Standard Time, and it was great. I love it. There's 4 magicians, and I talked about this, I think it was last week I talked about this. Wayne Hutchinson, who's a big magician in Canada. He actually is he's big around the world, but he's really big in Canada. James Gallagher, who's big in Australia. 2 other magicians, I can't remember their names. I don't have the names right here with me, but they actually take street magic tricks that are actual scientific experiments and turn them into magic. So they take stuff like Wayne Hutchinson on the first show did a motor oil trick where he took this motor oil and he controlled it with his mind. But it wasn't really motor oil. It was some kind of oil that actually had magnets in it. It acts like magnets, this oil he was using, and he can control it. You have to watch the show because I can't really explain it, but it takes actual scientific experiments that people have done and scientific principles and turns it into magic. It's really, really cool. The one trick that James Gallagher did, he put his hand underneath a speeding bowling ball, and if he couldn't get he was trying to do an escape trick where he tried to get the key that the one key that unlocked the lock before the bowling ball came down the tube and crushed his hand. And he actually could control the bowling ball to slow down at the last second. So it was starting to speed up really fast and it would slow down. You can see that clip on Discovery Channel's YouTube, but go check out the show. I thought it did really well because they would challenge people to do things or do certain street magic tricks, and it was just really good. So go check it out. Discovery Channel's Breaking Magic airs Sundays at 10 on Discovery Channel. All right, so now it's time for the final part, the final time we'll ever do this on The Talk Is Right, the review of a magic trick. Let's get it started. Okay, now the reason I said this was the last time we're going to do this on The Talk Is Right, if you haven't seen my latest video, the one right before this, where I talk about the new show that I'm going to do, the new show is going to be a review of a magic trick. One magic trick is going to be reviewed every single week. And I still need your guys' help on that. So if you could, in the comments below, post the name that you want to see this show be called. Now, I don't have a name for it. I've been thinking about this show for the past few weeks, and I can't think of a name. So think of a name for this new show. I've gotten some great submissions on the last video that I did, but on this one you can submit your name for the new show as well. Just make sure it incorporates magic in it. Don't say like, oh, the game show review, when I'm not reviewing game shows. So, but anyways, so for the last review of a magic trick on The Talk Is Right, I thought what I would do is do a really good one. And I found someone's credit card. His name is David R. Knight. I don't know a David R. Knight, and I don't know what to do with this credit card. Maybe I should use his credit card. What do you guys think? Wait, that's illegal if I use his credit card. So why don't I just do this? I'll just tear his credit card and break it. That's probably what I should do. Wait. Uh-oh. I know a David R. Knight. I know this guy. Uh-oh. I should probably restore his credit card like this just because, it's probably a good idea in case he comes back looking for it. And that is restored credit. It's a killer trick. I love this one. People go crazy over this. When they see you rip the credit card or they see you break the credit card, people go crazy because they're like, what? They're just like, what? I mean, people just look honestly shocked when I do this. And then afterwards, I restore the credit card, then I hand the credit card out to them for examination. They go crazy because they don't know how it's done. They're like, how did you make the credit? What? So they go very, very crazy over that. It's a really killer trick. It's put out by David Regal. I recommend going to pick this up because it is killer. It fools people badly. It fools people badly. It even fooled me the first time. When I finally bought the trick and I looked at it, I'm like, this secret is so simple. How did it fool me this bad? It's a really, really great trick. But I do recommend going to pick it up. I give it 5 magic wands out of 5. It's a really, really great trick. It's called Restored Credit by David Regal. Go check it out. All right, let's get into the final part of The Talk Is Right. All right, well, thanks for watching The Talk Is Right this week. That's going to do it. Before we end the show, though, I do want to give a big thank you to every single one of you who've watched the show every single week. I mean, it means a lot to me that you guys have supported the show and that you guys have enjoyed the show since day one. I've got nothing but good praises for the show since it started about like 2 months ago it started, or 3 months ago, something like that, and it's been nothing but good praises for the show, and you guys have enjoyed the show, and I enjoy making the show for you guys each week. It's really a lot of fun to just make the show and to report on different things for you guys each week, and I look forward to Wednesdays so I can film these and get them on YouTube and just have a lot of fun with it. So thank you to everyone who's watched the show and done nothing but good praises for the show, because a lot of you guys have just done nothing but good praises for the show since it started back a couple months ago. So again, thanks to every single one of you, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. And again, a big thank you to the Zachman18 for being the announcer for the show. Thank you again, Zach. Can't do it without you. I just can't do it without you. All right, that's going to do it from all of us here at The Talk Is Right, including myself, our wonderful announcer, the Zachman18, and from all of us, I am 444RR, reminding you to help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. We'll see you next time on The Talk Is Right. Bye-bye, everybody.
The Talk Is Right is sponsored by the following.
There's a package for you. But I didn't order anything. What's this? Gee willikers, it's a puppy. Remember, everybody loves a puppy, and now you can ship one anywhere just by logging on to petsovernights.com. Petsovernights.com, delivering little bundles of love in a box directly to your door.
This is the Zachman18 speaking for The Talk Is Right, a 444RR production.